Okay, welcome and welcome back. If you're returning, no, welcome and welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. One of these days, I'm going to get that. I don't know why I get so tongue tied with that introduction, but anyway, you get what I'm trying to say. I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for watching my channel. Please continue to do so. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and give this a thumbs up and share. Please leave a comment. Anyway, I was in the store and I can't believe it's already fall or no longer summer. Let me say that. I don't know if it's officially fall yet, but they have the designs and it's already for fall. I mean, I went into the store the other day and I saw fall designs. And so I started thinking, why not try to do a treat that's, I don't know, represent fall? So you know me, I don't like to keep you along. This is just pumpkin, right? Puree pumpkin. I'm only using this brand because it's on sale. So like I was saying, whenever I think of pumpkin, I always think of pumpkin as a winter or fall dessert. I don't know why. Maybe because that's when you see it. You don't really see it in the summertime, like pumpkin spice lattes and all of that. They start, advertising in the fall. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take this pumpkin and I'm going to make a dessert. A simple and easy one. Now, even though I'm making this for the fall and for the holidays, you can have this dessert all year long when you see how easy it is to make. And did I tell you it's fritters? Yeah. Now, just about every culture have some form of a fritter. From India to the Middle East, here in the U.S., in the South, they have what's called corn fritters. And I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe it originated with many of the indigenous people, also known as Native Americans. So if you hear me say Native American and indigenous, it's the same. So now that was just puree pumpkin, and I used a whole can, and that's about 15 ounces. Again, you use as much as a little as you want. So, can you believe summer is officially, I don't want to say officially, but over? I cannot believe this. Now, for those of you who don't know, nope, let me set this to the side. Yeah, I'm going to set this to the side because this is a dry batter right here. So I'm going to set this to the side. And now I like to mix all of my wet ingredients first. And I'll tell you why in a second, as soon as I can get this bowl. Okay. So now I'm going to put in vanilla. And if you have vanilla flavoring or vanilla extract, it's one and the same. And that's fine with me. So I'm going to come in with that. And I love vanilla in this house. Now I'm using quite a lot because it's a thick batter. And that's about 6 tablespoons. And you probably say, that's a lot. That's a lot. Well, when you see how thick the batter is, you'll see why I use that much. Now I'm coming in with cinnamon. And if any of these ingredients you don't really care for, you don't have to use. And what do I mean by that? If you're not a cinnamon lover, you could swap it out for nutmeg or cloves or any other spice you like. And that's about 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to put a little bit more. And as always, ingredients and measurements will be in the description box. So don't worry about that. But again, it's a very thick batter. So it may seem like I'm putting a lot, but the batter is so thick, you want the flavor to go through. Now I'm coming in with brown sugar. And I'm just using this sugar because it's what I have on hand. But I do like the flavor of brown sugar over white sugar in a dish like this because it is delicious. And I'm coming in with a cup. This is about a cup. And one of the great things I always say about making your own dessert is you decide how sweet you want it to be. Okay. And I don't want it to be over sweet, even though it's a dessert. Now I'm coming in with ginger. Now I know what you're saying, ginger is going to make it spicy, but I'm not putting in a lot. So you'll barely taste it, but you'll know something is there. And a lot of the lattes, especially with pumpkin, they put a little bit of ginger. And I'm putting about a teaspoon. And again, very little, so it won't be too spicy. So now, let me stir this up. Now, I almost forgot. I don't know how I could forget. I'm looking right at it. I'm going to put some eggs, and I'm going to put in about 5 medium eggs. I should have did large, but I didn't have any on hand. So you use what you have. Yeah, I can't believe it's like officially fall, or that summer is over. That's what I can't get over. It's like, oh my God, summer is over. And I don't know. It just seemed like, I remember when I was younger, and maybe I'm dating myself here. It used to seem like it took forever for the seasons to change. Not anymore. It seemed like the seasons just change like in the blink of an eye. From summer to fall, just like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just waxing nostalgic, I used to hear people say. Anyone have any plans for the holiday? Getting away, going away? I know, like the holidays, can you believe it's October, right? Well, no, it's not October yet. Like October's like next week. And then we're into November. And then we're into December. Do you see what I mean? It's like right around the corner. And before you know it, we're into another year. And I hope everyone sees it. And I hope, you know, whatever we didn't get this year, I hope we get it next year. Okay. You know, that's been my outlook on a lot of things in life, is that I always say, okay, so this wasn't my year, maybe next year. And I'm just going to keep beating this until it's combined. And if you're new to my channel, I don't really use that many electronics or like blenders and stuff like that. But if you have it, go right ahead, take it right out. And I just want to make sure the eggs is combined. It seems like the eggs just stick together, and that's not what I want. Okay, now I'm going to come in with about 2 sticks of melted butter. And you may say that's a lot. But again, this is a very thick batter, and you want it to be moist. The last thing you want to do is, have you ever had a fritter or any kind of dessert that was just choking you? Like it could have been nice, but it was just so dry, even if it's a cake. Yeah, so you want to add butter, margarine. You can use oil. Oil doesn't add as much flavor as margarine or butter, but yeah, you can do that. So now, put that to the side. Now I'm going to mix this into the puree. There we go. And I'm going to scrape out the inside because a lot of the sugar is in there. And I came up with this dessert, or the idea for this dessert, because it is fall and because I'm trying out desserts now for the holiday. And I think this is going to be one that I'm going to make. I'm going to try to use a lot of pumpkin this year. Why? Because 1 is healthy, 2 is on sale. Or maybe 1 is because it's on sale, 2 because it's healthy. Okay, so let me stir this to combine it. And I'm stirring this first, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. I'm going to try to combine the wet ingredients with the pumpkin. And I'm going to do that before I put in the self-rising flour. And I'm going to tell you why I use self-rising flour. If you use all-purpose flour, you have to add baking soda, baking powder, and salt. That's already in self-rising flour. And I'm using about a cup. And you may say, well, why are you using flour? Just to thicken the batter. And so I'm going to see how this turns out. And I didn't want to overbeat the batter, so I combined all the ingredients first. So this way, when I stir in the flour, all I'm doing is combining the flour. And once that's done, you stop stirring. And if your batter is ever too thick, you can add a little bit of water. You can add milk. If it's too thin, add more flour. And I love to use simple ingredients in all of my cooking, but especially in my desserts. And I don't think I'm going to need any liquid. It almost looks like baby food, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to add a little bit more flour. Yes, I am. So that was 1 cup. I figure I may need 2 cups. So let me get a little bit more flour. And whenever you cook, you just, as you go along, you adjust it. So I'm just sprinkling about a 1/2 cup more and see how that goes. I just want it to thicken up. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to use a whole 2 cups. Now, again, I said fritters, and everyone have their own version of fritters. I know in India, sometimes they make it with chickpea. In the South, they make it with corn. And if you don't like pumpkin, you can use apples, dates, raisins. This is very versatile. You can make it the way you want it. So now, I'm going to split this batter, and I'll show you why in a second. I'll set this to the side one more time and come back with that same bowl I had before. Okay, set that to the side. And I have some bananas. So some I'm going to make plain banana, no, I'm going to make pumpkin fritters. And the other ones I'm going to make banana and pumpkin fritters. Now again, if your house don't like bananas, leave it out. If they don't like pumpkin, you can use sweet potato, you can use just bananas, you can use apples. Very versatile to what you want it to be. And so I'm just gonna, I do wish these was a little bit more ripe, but that's fine. Because as you can see, I really don't need a knife for this. I can still just break it up. And yeah, so these just happen to be on sale, so I went along with it. You buy the fruit that your family like or what's on sale. And sometimes if you have fruits and you don't know what to do with them, like they're about to spoil, this is a good way to use them in a recipe like this. So, because here's the thing, you're supposed you have raisins that you think is going to go bad. You put raisins, bananas, apples all together. You can even make strawberry fritters. So, sometimes, fruits don't hang up, stay preserved where they used to. And I guess, and again, I'm not a health nut, but I'm told the reason why it depends because they don't use as much pesticides. So now fruits break down a lot faster. Don't know if that's true. It's just what I've been told. But again, leave a comment. Let me know. Please take a minute, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. It costs you absolutely nothing. Please share this video. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. And please leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see next. I love reading your comments. I do respond to them. It may take me some time, but I do read each one of them and I do respond to them. Okay. And I'm just breaking this up as much as possible. It doesn't have to be like a puree. Right, so there we go. We're getting there. Okay, so now I'm going to put some of this batter in here. And for those who want banana and pumpkin, we'll have banana and pumpkin. Those who just want pumpkin, we'll just have pumpkin. Okay. There we go with that. Set that to the side. And we're going to stir to combine. I like for every bite to have a banana in it. You ever get those donuts and the pudding or the cream is only in the center of the donut? Oh, I hate that. So you have to eat halfway through the donut before you taste any cream or jelly or anything. I always hated that. After a while, I stopped buying it. Okay. Now, fritters are usually fried, right? But if you don't want to fry it, you can bake. So let me set this over. And see if I can move this over to you so you can see. And I think I can do it. Okay, that's just oil. And you always want your oil to be waiting for you. You don't want to be waiting for your oil. What do I mean by that? You want your oil to be pretty much warm. And I'm just using a ice cream scooper. Now don't worry about how this looks. Remember, this is a homemade dessert. But I'm just using it because it's easier to get into the pan. And I'm going to level it off as much as possible. And remember, if you ever have a fritter, it's free form, which means you can have any form you like when you make your fritters. I've seen them round, I've seen them flat. And see, the scooper just helps it to go in a little bit easier. But you can put it in with a spoon. Yeah. And that's what you want. You want it to be frying. You want it to already be hot. Now, I'm using regular corn oil or canola oil. You just want to use an oil that's pretty bland. You don't want to use a strong flavor oil. Because that, and you probably say, well, why I don't want to use a strong flavor oil? It will change the flavor of, yes, if you use olive oil, it will change the flavor of your dessert. And you don't really want that. I'm going to turn it up, but it's frying pretty fast, and that's what you want. And as soon as it begins to puff up, you can just turn it, which I'm about to do as soon as I can clean off this spoon. I should have had another one, but I don't. And I don't feel like going to get one, so I'm just going to turn it. It reminds me of beignets, and you just want it, keep frying it until it get puffy. And again, don't worry about how it looks. Let me tell you, if it tastes delicious, they will love it. Come in with one more. That looks kind of small, so I'm going to add a little bit more to it. Take the other ones out and let them sit on a paper towel and dry, just to take the grease out. See, they fry it pretty fast. But again, if you didn't want them to fry, you can bake these. I think I'm going to let it stay in just a little bit longer. Let me see. I'm going to give it a test. Okay, I'm going to put that back in because I think it needs to fry a little bit more. Okay, so I did finish frying the batters off camera because the fritters off camera because it was taking a long time. Now, if you look at these, and I'm going to show you in a minute, because I put the banana in, it was taking a little bit longer because it was such a dense batter. And I put about 2 bananas in. So if you're going to make this, I would say put maybe 1 banana in. So this is the one with the banana, and this it's a little bit darker. Believe it or not, that is the pumpkin. Now, I would think that the banana would be darker, but no, the pumpkin is. Both of them are delicious. And again, you make this any kind of way you want. And what do I mean by that? You use the fruits you want. If you want to use apples, use apples. Maybe I use apples next time. You let me know. They remind me of a beignet. If you ever had them, they have them in New Orleans and all over the place. So all it is, it's like a fried dough. Exactly like this, but it's a dessert. But what I'm going to do is try to sprinkle. Let me do it off camera. Let me see if I can do this. I am going to try to sprinkle some powdered sugar over them. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Just like a beignet. That's what it reminds me of. Do you have to do this? No, you can serve it just as it is. And it's delicious. This is a wonderful fall snack. And again, it really didn't take too long. It took about 25 minutes altogether. And I just didn't want to have you just looking at dough fry in a pan. But again, you don't have to do this step. You can leave it out. It's delicious just as it is. And I know some people call these donuts. So if you want to call these donuts instead of fritters, by all means, you go right ahead. As always, I'll always ask you to take a minute. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Let me know what you would have did different. But I'm not finished yet. I am going to try to make a drizzle. And I'm just going to use powdered sugar. I'm calling it a drizzle, but I guess some people would call it not a frosting. It's not actually a frosting, so it's just powdered sugar. And I'm going to break that up. I don't know why this powdered sugar is coming up like that. Let me put a little bit of liquid. And you can use any liquid you want, but I happen to have some milk on hand. So I'm just using everyday milk, but you can use water. You don't have to use milk if you don't have it. Icing. That's it. I'm going to try to make an icing. And I'm told the trick to making an icing is if it's too watery, add more sugar. If it's too thick, add more liquid. And this is too thin, so I'm going to add more sugar. Can you believe that's how simple it is to making an icing? At least that's what I'm being told, and I'm going to give it a try. And I think it's still a little bit too thin. Yeah, so I'm going to add a little bit more powdered sugar. And again, you don't have to do this step. You can serve it just as it is because it is delicious. But you know me. Yeah, I always try to take it up a notch. And my family is always chiming me on it, saying, we love what you do, but don't overwork yourself. And enjoy the holidays. Everyone, I want you to really enjoy the holiday. Enjoy every day, but especially the holiday. Most of us spend holiday with family. I think that's still a little too, I think it's too thin. Yeah, I'm going to come in with just a little bit more. This will be my last time. If I can't get it this time, then I will stop. Okay. And they always say powdered sugar and not granulated sugar. I guess because it'd be hard to break down. Now what I'm going to add to this is a little bit of food coloring. If I can find it. Oh wow, where is it? And I don't see it. Give me 1 second. Okay, I found it. And this is yellow, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, I'm going to put in about 2 drops. Let's see if this changes the color. Yeah. It looks almost red, but it's supposed to be yellow. I don't know if the colors are coming through. Okay, so let's see if I can drizzle this on the banana. Okay, seem to be, I would like for it to be a little bit thicker, but it's not. Look at that. Your family will love this. And if you wanted to include the little kitties, they would probably love this part. I found out, for the holidays, try to include the little ones and things. And they have a wonderful time. Most of the time. You may have one that don't like to be in the kitchen. If that's the case, keep them out. if they get in your way or under your foot, and this, you don't want them to get hurt, burned, keep them out. And I'm going to do another sprinkle because why not? That reminds me of snow. There we go. So please take a minute, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Let me know what you would have changed. Thumb up the video or thumbs down, whichever one you like, whichever one you want to do. And again, I'm going to bring this up. Hopefully you can see how delicious that look. It tastes even better than it looks, I assure you. Until next time, enjoy.